The NFL Combine kicks off with drills this weekend. And of course, with any event, we can place bets on how we think this event is going to turn out. Joe DeLeone here with the Sports Geek. I do betting picks on this channel, but outside of the Sports Geek, I'm an NFL draft analyst for A to Z Sports, and I've got the skinny on how I think certain drills are going to turn out. BetOnline.ag put out lines, numbers set for over-unders on various particular drills that we focus on. Bench, 40, shuttle, 3-cone, vertical, and broad. Let's go through all of these and break down if we're going to go over/under on the numbers that they set. First up, the 40-yard dash is always everybody's favorite drill to watch. It's exciting getting to see guys like Xavier Worthy break the combine record. I don't think that anybody is going to break the 40 record this year, but the number that was set, 4.29 over/under on the fastest time for the combine this year. Over the last 10 years, only 15 guys, that's a lot of participants. Most guys do run the 40. Only 15 guys in the last 10 years have performed better than this number. Now, I typically lean against taking this, but there's two players in particular that I think are going to run around that 4.29 number. By the way, it's been brought up that there's different pellets apparently at Lucas Oil Stadium, which I have no freaking clue if that's going to slow down guys or not. People have been speculating that, everybody's going to be super slow this year, so much so that these numbers in the email I got from BetOnline were moved from the original numbers that they had set. I would take under 4.29 because of the two players in particular that are best primed to break that number. Not going to break a record, but Tez Johnson, the Oregon wide receiver, and Maxwell Hairston, the Kentucky cornerback. Tez Johnson has spoken pretty confidently that he thinks he can contend with Xavier Worthy's 40-yard dash time. I don't think he breaks that number, but on film, we see a receiver who is ridiculously fast. He's a quick separator. He's a quick accelerator. It's plausible for him to hit 4.28 and somewhere at the very back end of the 4.2s, which is still a ridiculously fast 40 time. And Maxwell Hairston is another player with great acceleration and long speed at corner, and it's speculated he could be one of the few guys that ends up running in the 4.2s. At bench press, a drill that hasn't gotten as much pub as it should, is always one of the most entertaining to just see these big offensive and defensive linemen ripping it, as many reps as they can possibly hit. It's worth noting, though, the over-under was set at 36.5 reps. Only 10 guys in the last 10 years have gone over 37 reps on the bench. For that reason, you are best off going under. One player who could challenge this is Kenneth Grant from Michigan, who is a house of a defensive tackle who's going to run a crazy 40 time because he's a crazy athlete. But knowing the fact that this is such a rare drill to go over 37 reps, I am taking the under. And also, we don't know for total certain if a guy like Kenneth Grant, if we're banking on one dude, we don't know for certain if he's going to end up fully testing or not. The short shuttle, which is one of the agility drills, 4.02 is the number that was set. I am taking under for this. This is the one drill out of any, when I looked back in the last 10 years, that had the most success of beating this number. Does the field play into this? I don't think that that's worth over-evaluating on. 68 guys in the last 10 years had a short shuttle better than 4.02. There's some really shifty players in this class, and I think there is a ton of potential to have multiple prospects run a short shuttle time that is faster than 4.02. With the 3-cone, 6.56 over-under. I think that we should take the over in this situation. Now, Will Johnson has some unbelievable change of direction ability. He is a shifty, rare player for what he's able to do at his size. But because of how big he is, I'm a little cautious of going with the under, especially knowing only 15 guys have broken that number in the last 10 years. The vertical. This one's the clearest one for me, that at 43.8 was the listed number for the over-under, that we should be taking the under. We have only 7 guys that have gone over 44 inches. 7 guys in the last 10 years. It is really freaking hard 44 inches is a ridiculous NBA level vertical. Now, if one guy did challenge it, it would be Nick Emanwari from South Carolina. But because he's a heavier prospect, and if he has a great vertical, it might just be for, contending with the safeties as one of the best safety jumps ever. But him going over 44 is just a little bit too much because of how high that number was set. And then lastly, the broad jump. The number that was placed out there by BetOnline, 138.5 on the broad, which is good for 11 feet and 6.5 inches. That is a ridiculous jump, and we've only had 8 guys that have broken that number in the last 10 years. So I'm taking the under for that as well. We've got some great jumpers, but I don't believe that we're going to end up knocking that one off. Folks, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. We'll be putting out some more Combine content, hopefully by the end of the Combine, talking about odds and who's in the shape to be the first overall pick after everything happens in Indianapolis. So don't miss out. We'll talk to you later.